Hello, welcome back to my YouTube channel, or if you're new, welcome. Today I'm going to be giving you my review and thoughts of the Throne of Glass series by Sarah J. Maas. This is my favourite series ever that I've read so far. This video will contain spoilers from the Throne of Glass series, so if you haven't read it or you're in the middle of reading it, don't watch this video. This is for your own good. If you're here looking for a sophisticated, in-depth review of the series and of like the writing style or like a deep dive or whatever, this video is not for you. I'm just a simple little guy here to talk about the things that I enjoy. I put off doing this video for so long because I wanted to be prepared. I wanted to have a full list of all my thoughts. I wanted to jot them all down so that I didn't miss anything. I procrastinate a lot and didn't really do that. I have a short list, but it's kind of scattered all over the place. So you're just really gonna be getting me freeballing this. This series is the first fictional piece to ever make me cry. Like, I've literally never cried to anything fictional before, ever. I've gotten on the verge of crying, but I've never been able to produce tears. I've been sad, obviously, of like some movies and books and things like that, but I would never cry. This series very much changed that. I cried, and when I say I cried, there are many pictures in my camera roll of me crying over this series. Yeah, fun. This series is not for the weak. This series is not for the weak. It will make you cry. You will bawl your eyes out. I promise, yeah. If you're looking for a good cry, read this series, I guess. I have also read A Court of Thorns and Roses by Sarah J. Maas, and I've actually done a video on it, so if you'd like to go see that, please go watch it. I do prefer Throne of Glass over A Court of Thorns and Roses. I think it's better, and I would also just like to say, this fandom, this Throne of Glass community does not know what the meaning friendly reminder is. Anytime I see a Throne of Glass friendly reminder, I usually don't read it because I'm about to get more emotional damage than I already have, more than I can handle. I don't want to go onto Pinterest and see friendly reminder. Sam never got to know Aylin's real name. Okay. Why would you say that? Now, there are many different reading orders when it comes to this series. I read Assassin's Blade first. I've seen both a lot of people recommend that reading order, but also despise it at the same time. I personally liked that I read Assassin's Blade first. I liked reading the backstory before reading the rest of it. I understand why people don't recommend reading Assassin's Blade before the rest of the series. I can see how it would be more emotionally damaging to read it later on in the series. I preferred that I read the prequel Assassin's Blade first because otherwise I would have been confused a lot and I would not have wanted to read the series. I liked that I knew what those little comments meant when she would mention anything about Sam or her past. I also liked it more because whenever Sam was mentioned or something from her past was mentioned, I cried. So I personally recommend reading Assassin's Blade first. Other people will recommend you otherwise. It is your job to figure out in which way would you like to be emotionally destroyed. And I also just want to say I did go into this series a bit spoiled. I knew bits and pieces of the storyline. For example, I knew that she was going to end up with Rowan. So I knew Sam was with her before Rowan, obviously. I knew that he would die. I didn't know when he would die though. I thought maybe he dies in like Crown of Midnight, and was shocked to see that we didn't even get a first full book of him. I also didn't know about her little thing with Dorian or Kale. Didn't know that that was going to happen. I thought her only partners throughout the whole series was going to be Sam and Rowan. And another thing with this series that I already knew about going into it was that I knew her name was Aylin. Selena. Okay, I was fucking right. I knew her name wasn't Selena. And I was just waiting for it to change. really. Now, I didn't know what the impact of the name changing was, so I was pleasantly surprised with that, but I knew her name wasn't Selena. I knew it was Aylin. Now, after Kale and Selena, technically, split, I did have some issues with Kale. I thought he was a real bitch throughout Queen of Shadows, and he annoyed me so much. Like, every time I saw him pop up in Queen of Shadows, I wanted to strangle the little guy. Now, at the end of Queen of Shadows, Cal redeems himself. He helps Aylin and accepts her. I don't know why people keep making it seem like Kale and Aylin's beef is still going. She forgave him. He was no longer a douchebag, kind of. And I love him again, because I loved him in Crown of Midnight. Ow! I just love Aylin's character development so much by the end of the series. And this shows by Aylin's companions taking out her major enemies instead of Aylin herself, because she's used to doing everything herself and not letting anyone help her. She also never let anyone in on her crazy-ass self-destructive plans. And that's because the one time she actually allowed someone in on her plans, he was taken away from her. She kept everything to herself and put all this pressure on herself that no one I love can be involved in this or they'll be taken away from me. And does she let people in on her plans by Kingdom of Ash? Not really, but her mate kind of picks up on it and is like, okay, I know this crazy bitch. I'm gonna make my own secret plan to help her. Love Rowan. Love Rowan. But literally, Aylin wasn't the one who took out Maeve, Erwin, or Arabin. Elliot is the one who murders Arabin. Fenris kills Maeve. And Dorian and Uraine are the ones that kill Erwin. Speaking of Arabin, he deserved a much more brutal death than what he got. From all the stuff he's put Aylin through, the dude groomed her. He deserved a much more painful death. Now, I get it was Elliot the one that was killing him, and she's not exactly a trained assassin like Aylin. But still, I think he should have been tortured to death. Arabin should have had his ass handed to him on a silver platter instead of just being killed in his sleep. Speaking of people dying, the 13. The 13! What I was not prepared for was the 13 yielding to save Teresian. I was so distraught when that happened. I knew of the quote, "Live, Manon, live." I thought it'd just be a little encouragement before going off to war. Boy, was I wrong. I mean, technically it was encouragement, but it was also like, bye. And of course it happened right as Manon accepted them as her family. I still love the fact that Dorian overcame a Valg prince possessing him just to flirt with this hot witch. Of course, Dorian, of all people, escaped possessiveness to flirt. Also, I feel like Dorian's story is incomplete. I want to know what mainly between him and Manon. I want to know what happens there. I want to see what happens when he goes back to Rifthold. I just want to know what happens between those two. Do they officially get together? Do they end up getting married? What goes on between those two? We know what happens with everyone else. Why not them? And that is all the points that I have made for this video. If you enjoyed this video, please like and subscribe. I don't know why I said it like that, I apologize. You can find the rest of my social medias linked in the description below. And yeah,